Many of you guys repeatedly asked for a spending guide to help you get the best bang for your buck in Rise of Kingdoms. And I do read every feedback that you guys leave under my videos in the comment section or on my Discord. By the way, link is in the description down below if you want to join. So here I am, recording this video for you all. As the spending topic can be very wide, I am structuring this video in chapters, so after some important premises, you will be able to skip and watch the part that interests you the most. So relax and let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome to another conversation about Rise of Kingdoms. Today, we will be talking about spending on a game. As far as I'm concerned, there are some important premises to be made. Now, I am not your guardian, I am not your financial advisor, nor I am your banker or manager of your finances. What I'm trying to do here is essentially help you determine, basing on your disposable income and my personal experience of the game, whether or not you should be spending money on the game, and if you're spending money, which are the ways for you to obtain the most out of it. Because that's what it is about, people. Spending on a game is not granting you any return, if not the fun in having something that the others don't have, or getting it faster compared to other players. Now, having something that the others don't have does not always translate into fun. Because you could simply overwhelm everything and everyone if the game does not have a limit, a line between players who spend to get extras in the game and players who simply don't. And that's of course very far from my personal definition of fun, or probably from the one of every competitive player who likes to earn things. Of course, on the other side, people who spend a considerable amount of money expect to be ahead. Otherwise, why spending in the first place? You will be very silly. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm not the advocate of either the so-called free-to-play players and the so-called pay-to-win players. I will leave any personal opinion out of the equation, but still, we all need to understand that pleasing both the categories of players is extremely complicated. Balance is the key. But how can you achieve balance between a player who spends $1,000 a month or more on the game and a player who spends, I don't know, $10 or nothing at all? Well, I think this is a factor you need to consider if you want to start spending in the first place. Spending should not represent a form of competition for you. Therefore, one important thing that you need to keep in mind is you should spend your disposable income only. So that part of your income that can be spent without harming your life. Okay? Priorities, my friends. Gaming is nice. We all can appreciate a very well-made game, but gaming comes after your partner, your house, your kids, your job, your family. There are many people over 30-40 years young that watch my videos, and probably they do have a family. And whether or not it's just a partner or kids, it doesn't matter. There are many channels on YouTube, okay? If you need any help with anything, the internet can be a good place where to find information, or a very bad place if you cannot use properly. But something I wish to highlight is every time the subscriber count of this channel grows, it means that there is a person behind the screen who trusts, or at least who likes, the content of this channel. And I really wish for this channel to be a safe shore for anyone to take a good advice. I am very far from perfect, and I'm always open to accept other opinions and look at my behavior critically to see if I'm wrong. That's it. I sincerely apologize if this premise took a bit of your time away, but I thought a lot about it and I felt like I really needed to say it. Now, on to the spending. Before analyzing the best ways in which you can spend the acquired gems in the game in different phases of your Rise of Kingdoms experience, of course we should talk about which bundles are the best for your situation. So we keep on the side the gems you can acquire by grinding in the game, participating into events and farming on the map. Yes, farming on the map, why not? Some people do it and they are capable of gathering around 1,000 gems a day, sometimes even more. So Wick, which are the best value bundles you can get in the game? In my opinion, the very top bundles you can get are equipment related. Because if there is an aspect of the game that more than anything else takes your time away, is the equipment. After the last major equipment update, pop-up equipment bundles have been released and will appear on the screen for you to purchase when you achieve certain checkpoints in the game, like for example crafting a certain amount of equipments or combining certain blueprints or materials. Those are the best bundles to buy because they are relatively cheap and they save you a lot of time. You may be asking yourself now, are they even better compared to the Writer of History bundle that appears when you unlock a legendary commander or not? My answer is yes. Let's for example compare the Vanquisher bundle with the Writer of History bundle. Putting aside the extra value you get from the package and considering the main attractive, which is the legendary materials choice chest in the case of the first and the 10 legendary sculptures in the case of the second, those 4 legendary materials choice chests will take you up to 18,432 minutes to produce in your blacksmith, which translates into 12.8 days. Now, let's assume you have the lowest VIP level that grants you 1 legendary sculpture per day, which is VIP 10. It's not hard at all to get there, even free-to-play players can go there in few months or few weeks if they grind an average amount of time. With VIP 10 and 1 sculpture per day, you will get the 10 sculptures of the Writer of History bundle in 10 days, which is still 2.8 days less than having to produce the materials contained in the Vanquisher bundle. Remember that you can choose whatever material you want and you can also downgrade them in order to obtain epics, elites or even advanced and normal if you need. Even more convenient is the case in which you are VIP 12 or VIP 14, because the value comparison will be even more pronounced in favor of the Vanquisher bundle, which you will be able to get, by the way, every time you combine a new legendary blueprint. But just 1 time per type of blueprint. For example, if I combine 30 fragments of Shio's Return to obtain 1 blueprint, it will trigger the bundle. If I do it another time, the bundle will not appear. You will need another legendary piece for that to trigger again. So for $5, that is for sure a solid pickup. Same concept for some other one-time only pop-up bundles, like this one, which grants you 45 elite choice chests, almost 3 legendary materials. And especially those other 2, which grant you a chest where you can choose a full, and I mean a full one, 30 fragments, epic accessory or weapon blueprint. That is for sure awesome value if you are interested in picking up a Silent Trial or a Golden Age blueprint, and you really should. After those, there is for sure the Writer of History, which we already spoke about, giving you 10 legendary sculptures, some legendary stars and books for $5. And you will be able to pick up this bundle each time you recruit a new legendary commander. The previously mentioned bundles belong to the pop-up bundle category, so the gems acquired don't count towards any recharge event that may be active in the game at that time. What is the recharge event? It is an event in which you will be able to claim extra rewards each day, for a total of 5 times over a time of 1 week maximum by recharging gems. The minimum amount to recharge to unlock the daily chests is 2,500, so a total of 12,500 gems to be able to claim all the rewards. So if you plan to spend in the game, an important concept that you should take account for is the timing. You should really time your spending correctly. If you plan to buy a monthly gem supply, do it during the recharge event. It will count towards the gem's recharge to unlock the daily chest, and you will have the best bang for your buck. As I already said, the pop-up bundles will not count for the recharge event purpose, and neither will the growth fund. Another great value in the game is, as I was introducing, the monthly gem supply, which gives you a great amount of gems over the course of 1 month for the price of $10. Then definitely we have the material weekly supply, which gives you a grand total of 140 advanced choice chests and 1050 gems for $5. Those 140 chests correspond up to 10,080 minutes of production, which, you know what, is exactly 7 days. It will be like doubling your weekly production of materials with a boost of 100% in production speed, with the extra advantage to be able to pick up whatever material you need the most. I would always suggest to stack the chests up and open them only when necessary. Another great value package that most of the players who start spending in the game pick up is the growth fund, which rewards you with a solid amount of gems each time your city hall reaches the indicated level. So in general lines, supply bundles and material pop-up bundles are great value. And that is what a low spender should focus on. Just maybe consider picking up some of those bundles sometimes during your Rise of Kingdoms experience and you will be good to go. For a mid-spender that wants more, I can surely suggest to go for the best value bundles, like the King's Coronation and the Call of the Ancient, but mostly you should consider picking up the event bundles. So, in most of the important part of the year, usually corresponding to festivities but also Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays for example, Rise of Kingdoms will release exclusive bundles. Some of the time, those bundles will also give you items for certain events that can be spent into getting extra value, like legendary commander sculptures, city skins, speed-ups, etc. Those are very good to choose for a mid-spender and I wouldn't go past that. Maybe sometimes you could pick up the geared up bundle for some materials, but that's basically it. Any other bundle should be bought only by high spenders. I'm talking about the big whales out there who have a lot of disposable income and decided to spend some of it on the game. The best bundles for them, other than the before mentioned ones, are the geared up bundle for the materials, the war machine bundles if they need to train, for example during MGE events, the bumper, harvest and the living legends for that top niche of super high spenders that want extra commander sculptures. Because of course they do not buy that bundle for the gold keys or the books, for sure. Even if a fun fact comes to my mind, in OV we had a super mega whale called Clover. She was the top rank player in our kingdom, Kingdom 52, and Slody was just behind her at the time. She probably was the highest power player at the time, or in the top 3 for sure. She had almost 300 million power during the Season 1 of Osiris League, which you can imagine was a huge deal at the time, considering that now many free-to-play accounts passed, I think, 90 or 100 million power after 900 plus days of Rise of Kingdoms. Well, the thing is, she was the only one in our Osiris League team who had the new released Wu Zetian already expertised. And we needed her to garrison the Shrine of War badly. At the time, the best option was to use Wu Zetian primary and Richard or Charles Martel secondary and take advantage of the support tree provided by Wu Zetian, and that's what we did at the end. We really needed it because JWM had 3 or 4 Wu Zetian already maxed and we couldn't keep up with that in Season 1. The only problem was that her Wu Zetian was still at level 40. And she was never ever smashing Barbarian Forts because she was lazy. What do you think she did? Do you think she started killing forts? Hell no. She max bought every single day the Living Legends bundle until the day of the final game against JWM to level Wu Zetian up to 60. Not for the gold heads, but for the books. Well, maybe she killed a couple forts to fill the gaps, but that's it. That was Clover. So yeah, unless you're a very big whale, the 6 gold heads that you get from max purchasing that bundle are very much not worth it. And neither the keys until they don't update the rewards in the gold chest, because you are going to max the gold chest commanders anyway. However, that's it for the spending guide. I will have a follow-up video soon with an investment guide, so the best ways for you to invest your gems according to your spending level and your gameplay. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoy my content. And I will see you on the next one. Ciao!